What's up, y'all? It's LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, welcome to Season 2 of the Comp NBA 2K23 My League. So, this right here, in case you guys missed all of last season, is me and 24 now other teammates that I've played with on 2K, like in the years past or this year, comp pro-am players, stuff like that, or just rec players, a wide variety of different skill sets in this league, and I gathered them all to play a My NBA series for either the first or second time nearly ever for most of the people in here. So a lot of newbies to this stuff, but I want to introduce you guys to the teams and also the players in it. So as you can see, we have 23, it's technically 24 waiting on I'm in corner on Joe's pro-am team. He's going to be filling in the Thunder's team right here. He just happened to have to draft on a different account. Long story short, though, you can see we have a lot of returning people from last league. We have Kobe, we have me, Tonic, Dope, AK, all these names and stuff like that. I'm not going to waste your guys' time too much with them. But as far as our new names added to the league, we have Kish, a really good lockdown, one of the top pro-am locks in the 2K community, just in general. We got Koza getting added in here, a very good ball handler, lockdown hybrid as far as his play style goes on my player things. But obviously for his team, he has a bit of a, team style as well. We got ADOT, another really good lockdown as well. We got so much new comp getting added to this stuff. We also have as you can see right here, it's actually Gucci in our former videos, one of the best shooting guards in the game, if you ask me. We got Blitz right here as well, another good pro-am player. It's so many good players getting added to this stuff, and again, we still have corner as our 24th. So let's go over some rosters real quick. I know in the last one I showcased the draft. I saw the retention was not very good. You guys weren't that really interested in the draft itself. You wanted to see this right here is where the retention really spiked up, was the team overview. So we're going to start at my team, the Lakers, and we're going to scroll to the right. We're going to go over everybody's team and recap them so that if you have any questions as far as future videos and stuff like that, you're curious what anybody's team looks like or what maybe changes they put on a player, you can come back to this video. So I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to some noties, all good stuff. And like always, try to want to 500 likes. So with this, I did want to let you guys know still, we have that rule change from last year where you're going to be able to change a badge point from gold to Hall of Fame anywhere on your team, and then one animation change as well. So interesting enough for my team, right? There's a lot of maneuvering I did. So I'll try and recap it all within 30 seconds for you guys as far as the trades I have made. So I was supposed to have the 17th or 18th pick. We did a little bit of a lottery system. I ended up at that spot. However, it was based on how well your team performed. There was a certain range of picks you could be in. I had the new players a little bit toward the back end. Long story short, I wanted to trade up for a higher pick. So my boy Saint, who is controlling the Celtics in this one, ended up trading me the number 6 pick for my 18th and my 3rd round pick as well. So he gained a 3 and the 18th off me as well in return for that 6th pick. I think it's a really good maneuver if you ask me. As I check back now, I actually had the 16th pick, so I moved up 10 spots at the expense of giving up my 3rd round pick entirely. I think it was a pretty W trade for me and a W trade for Saint as well. You're going to see Saint's team when we scroll over to Celtics. But long story short, I drafted Tatum at 6 actually because he fell that far. However, I tried Tatum out. I wasn't liking him as much. And Kobe right here, who is a huge fan of Tatum as well, ended up with Ja. So I was like, hey, Kobe, you want to make a trade right here? So I ended up trading him Franz and Tatum in return for Herb Jones and Ja Morant. I know overall wise it's a little bit of a downgrade, but I think player wise, they're both pretty good. So anyway, let's recap a little bit. Let's talk about my team. So we have Ja, like I said, he has got a lot on him right here. I mean, he's got all the ridiculous ratings and badges you would ever expect. Haw Fast Twitch with Gold Giant Slayer. It's actually a very intriguing combo as far as mashing bigger people on standing layups and stuff too. It gets toxic with that. Not to mention he has Hoff Takeoff, Gold Acrobat. He's got a really good Euro package as well, where he does this little behind the back style thing. He's even got Gold Aerial Wizard too, so you can even catch driving lobs or even pick and roll lobs if you want to use them like we did Levine in last season as well. He's got Gold Poster, Gold Slithery, and again, Hoff Takeoff as well. So an absolute, just ridiculous slasher. He's even got Gold Space Grade with a really good Hop Jumper animation as well. I do expect myself to use that a little bit because his fades are really bad. His fade animation is terrible. But either way, Silver Green Machine, Bronze Amped, Bronze Catch and Shoot, all that little stuff right here. It's mostly just Space Creator and Volume Shooter that we're really talking about, and then Silver Green Machine as far as his good shooting badges. But he has a really good jump shot animation too. I will showcase that to you guys. Also, as far as the badge change that I did, I upped my Gold Quick First Step to Hall of Fame, and I gave him MJ dribble style too instead of his Ja Morant dribble style. So this man is moving out here, bro. I've played a couple scrimmage games with him. The couple of games that you saw on my record, I'm 3-1. I played those with Tatum. I played pretty good with him too, for that matter, but wanted to move on a little bit. So anyway, Hoff Quick First Step, Gold Clamp Breaker as well, and then even the Dimer, Floor Gen, Handless for Days, Hyperdrive, Mismatch Expert, Needle Threader, Unpluckable. He's even still got Silver Bailout, Silver Killer combos. He's crazy, man. He is ridiculous. And if I show you the ratings too, as you can see, he has Pogo and Chase down too. Pretty meaningless defensive badges for his size, but Anyway, showing you his ratings: 97 driving dunk, 97 driving lay. That is a ridiculous combo, paired with, again, 93 close shot and that Hoff fast twitch and gold masher or gold giant slayer as well. That's how it gets used too, so that's why you're catching me saying masher sometimes. But 77 three-pointer is very doable with his shot animation. It's actually pretty good. Also, as you can see, playmaking-wise, ridiculous. 96, 96, 95 on the pass act, ball handle, and speed with ball. That speed with ball with gold hyperdrive is ridiculous too, dribbling down the court. It's very easy to use Ja, especially with my dunk meter style that you guys have obviously seen me accustomed to using. He gets crazy with it, and I think I'm one of the best players to use Ja in this game too. So 72 prim D, 67 steal. It's actually not terrible, and 83 lateral quickness paired with his 95 speed and 95 excel. So this actually makes his defense pretty playable, being the fact that he's 6'3" instead of like 6'1"-ish, and then also has 95 speed. He can definitely play some solid, doable defense. Not to mention, the 97 vert also goes a long way for protecting himself in the paint too. 97 stamina as well. I mean, he's just crazy, bro. But anyway, not to talk about him the whole time, we have DeAndre Ayton, who also has, again, a pretty solid jump shot. Anybody on my team that has a 3-point rating is going to have a pretty solid jump shot. I want to make sure I don't have anybody that's going to troll me entirely. So Ayton, actually pretty solid. As far as his rebounding stuff, I mean, his ratings are not the greatest, but rebounding badges wise, he's got silver box out beast, silver brick wall, silver rebound chaser. He still has bronze anchor as well. He can definitely still shoot, even though he has 73 pointer and obviously has 0 shooting badges. And then as far as the finishing goes, he got rise up. He's got bronze masher as well. He's actually a very sleeper big man. I think he's actually be really nice for my team. Now, as far as the fit goes, just so you guys know, I drafted my whole team around Tatum too. Fortunately though, I did still draft my boy OG in the 2nd round. So even though I got Tatum as an on-ball lock who was really good with like silver clamp, silver challenger and stuff like that, I still got OG who's going to play my on-ball lock now that I have traded Tatum. And that's what made me doable to trade for Ja Morant, obviously, is the fact that I still had OG in the back burner. So OG plays my shooting guard. I'm starting Tari Eason that I got back from last season as well at my small forward. Ironically, if you guys watched the series, I had OG, Tari Eason, and Poku as my like 3 keepers that I was able to redraft in the draft and be able to get them back. So we're actually able to make that happen. Herb Jones is a really like solid defender as well. Obviously provides like, let's say, silver challenger, silver clamps, and is a doable jump shot. It's not anything super crazy. I ended up trading Nut. I gave him, I think it was Jaden McDaniels for Derek White straight up. I wanted a backup point guard, so we were able to get Derek White. Shout out to the boy getting the putback dunk the other night. When I'm uploading this, the finals is probably set now, so let's see if the Celtics even win that by the time I upload this. But anyway, he's got good 3-pointer. He's got 90 excel as well, good ball handle. I mean, he's crazy, and he has MJ dribble style too, so very solid secondary ball handler. But speaking of secondary ball handlers, I actually got Paolo as well. So he has pretty good driving dunk, 73-pointer, again, very doable with his jump shot animation, and really it's just his versatility. He's very good at a lot of different things and not bad at very many. However, his main category that he's going to provide us is the finishing and the slashing. So he's got silver area wizard, silver fearless, and silver slithery with bronze poster and bronze takeoff as well. So he has a lot of different things that he brings to the table. Same with fast twitch on bronze as well. So obviously, he doesn't really bring much to the table shooting, playmaking, and defense-wise, but Paolo is more of our slasher that I plan to have around Tatum, but I think it will still work with Ja as well. Besides that, though, again, Tari Eason, no badges, Poku, no badges, but they're both really good players. My team, speed-wise, is looking really, really souped up this time. Like, I definitely upgraded the speed more than anything. As far as my bench goes, guys that you might see get minutes, we got JT Thor, Zaire Williams, and Scotty Lewis. These are my 3 favorite like sleepers right here. They will get occasional runs, but I think I've upgraded my team a good bit now, so I don't really have to deal with that. Anyway, moving along, we are going to detail all the other teams, so I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I know I spent a little while talking about my own, but wanted to introduce you guys to my team specifically, obviously more than anything. But anyway, moving along, we have Trippy's team right here. This is Trae Young, Bradley Beal, Lonzo Ball, and then Evan Mobley as well. As you can see, kind of copied AK's loadout a little bit, getting Trae Young and Lonzo. Did the exact same thing as AK2, put the dribble style on him, gave him Hoff Agent 3, so that's a little bit of a, you know, copycat thing. But hey, if it works for Trippy, I'm looking forward to that for him as well. Bradley Beal with the secondary ball handler. He's got MJ dribble style too. Evan Mobley as his center, technically, and then he starts Lonzo and Harrison Barnes too. So essentially his starting lineup is his top 4 players and Harrison Barnes. He can slide in Steven Adams at the 5 if you would like to do that as well. Still has Okongwu quickly, stuff like that. Keegan Murray as well. Keegan's jump shot is a little tough. I hate that for my Iowa boy, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving along to the next team, we have the Mavericks. This is Blitz, one of our new additions. And as you can see, he has a ridiculous lineup. What I love about Blitz's lineup is this duo right here. So he has Claxton at his 5. However, his on-ball lock is Isaac. Now, this is devious stuff right here, bro. And DeAndre Hunter can play his other team's like secondary ball handler as well. So he's got a really good like main lock, secondary lock, and big man paired with Donovan Mitchell too. And then as far as his like, you know, shooting guard goes, he has Buddy Hield playing that spot too. So really good starting 5. His bench, a little bit tougher. Doesn't really have a secondary ball handler / like anybody worth anything because he didn't really know about Sexton having the worst animations possible in this game. His jump shot is horrible too. And he's a 6'2" guard that doesn't really dunk like that either. So, I mean, it's just a little bit of a tough situation. And when I say dunk like that, I mean like, you know, actually dunk like that like Mitchell does. So he hasn't used his badge point yet. As you can see, he hasn't upgraded anything from gold to Hoff. He's thinking about trying to trade the badge point. Now, that's one thing I did let the guys know you can do in this season. You can trade your badge point for a player if you would like to. Ironically, it's actually what I did. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's actually what I did. I traded my badge point for Franz, and then I also got the Jaden McDaniels from Dre. So I was able to pull that off, but then I traded Kobe for John Morant with his badge point upgraded. So now Kobe has no extra badge point on his team. Long story short, I think I won the trade a little bit pretty well with that with Kobe, but Kobe also is a big Tatum guy, and also he won a pretty good on-ball, and Tatum is that for sure. But anyway, like I was saying, the thing that makes Blitz's team really special right here is the fact that Claxton and Isaac can switch everything between the two of them. If you look at the interior and perimeter defense between the two of them, it's very high on the grades, and to look at Claxton specifically, I really wanted Claxton too. He was one of my favorite ideas for a pick that I would have gone with. He can shoot, his jump shot's pretty solid, but as you can see, 77 perimeter with 89 interior, has good rebounding and still pretty solid speed. I think he can keep up with like smaller guards even still. However, what makes him special is gold chase down. Gold pogo is pretty fire too. He's got silver anchor and silver rebound chaser with silver box out beast, so keep that in mind. But also the versatility badges. He's a 6'11" big man that has bronze challenger, bronze clamps. That's the same level of clamps and challenger as OG and Anobi has. That's crazy, man. So when you pair that with Isaac guarding ball, both of them can switch everything between the 1 and 5 pick and rolls, and that goes hard, man. That's some real elite versatility. So Blitz, he's very new to this myleague stuff, but if he figures this stuff out, I think it's going to be an elite team, 100%. You can run like a 5-out style too, because Claxton can shoot. I know it sounds ridiculous because he's not really that great of a shooter in real life, but obviously good jump shot paired with like 60+ three-pointer, you can get it done for sure. Anyway, moving along, we have Gucci's team. As you can see, he has Devin Booker, Miles Turner, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, little Nugget squad right here, little theme team. And then obviously Malcolm Brogdon, Valanciunas, Clarkson as well. As far as the animation changes he did and the badge change, he put Hoff Agent 3 on Booker. And then he also gave Devin Booker Michael Jordan dribble style as well. So that's the modifications he made as far as his team goes. I don't really know how to feel about this team just yet. As you can see, the defense is not exactly great. He did trade Nut for Alex Caruso, though. You can see he's a little bit buried in the lineup. But Caruso's a pretty good on-ball lock. He's got some good ratings, some good defensive badges. So that's his lockdown. Obviously, I would assume Brogdon is not the one that starts in this lineup, and it's more Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Booker, Caruso, and then Turner as well. It'll be a little bit of an undersized 1 through 3, but I expect that's probably what he's going to roll with. Now, Nut right here. Nut is one of the best teams in the league so far. He is like 9-2 or something like that. I know I'm a little bit behind, right? I've only played like 3 games, but that's kind of how I wanted it in this league, so I could recap a little bit more, show you guys that who are the good teams and the bad teams more than anything when I'm actually playing. But as you can see, him and Gucci actually traded. So originally Nut had Miles Turner and Towns, but he ended up trading for Jaren for Miles Turner. So this is what we're looking at. Originally Nut had Alex Caruso, but I ended up trading him Jaden McDaniels. So there's been a lot of movement in this stuff. That's why I was happy that I waited this long to show you guys. But anyway, with Nut's team, it is Damian Lillard, absolute carry session, and then he's got absolute gigantic squad around it. As you can see, his starting 5 is pretty much his top 5 players. So he's got McDaniels playing the 2. He's got Jabari playing the 3 at 6'11", and he can do it. He's fast for sure. He's got Towns at the 4, who's once again also pretty fast for 7 foot, and then you got Jaren at the 5. So this is a tough team, tough lineup right here. And then as far as what Nut did, he gave KPJ base to Damian Lillard right here, and then he gave him Hoff clamp breaker as well. So that's what you're looking at for Lillard. He is a problem. He is so tough with his speed with ball and just getting down the court. He just moves really well. And his dribble style is not the greatest, but Nut found a way to make it work. I guess if you run to the opposite ball hand when you do the dribble moves and stuff, he can still sprint pretty good. So it's just a little bit like playing left-handed or backwards, so to say. Now, this is Dre's team. Dre was the user of the Giannis and Kawhi duo from last season, and it's a little bit of a fall from grace. Obviously, he's got to deal with a little bit of a tougher team. Didn't end up trading any assets of his draft picks for a higher pick like I did. So as you can see, he is now here with Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Cade, DeJounte Murray, and then I'm not sure who starts between Bobby and the rest of his team, to be real with you guys. As far as the badge point changes that he made, I think it's literally just Bam with Hoff anchor. Now, ironically, I traded my badge point over to Dre, so Dre still has another badge point he could use if he finds some use for it, or he may end up just trading it and moving it somewhere else as well. So that's what we're looking at right here. Honestly, there's not much else for him to go to besides Bam's badge points either, but it is what it is. Now, this team right here, this is Apollo's team. I think Apollo's team is one of the best built rosters on this game right now. So the problem in this game is, if you have an inside center, yet you run a 5 out, your team still guards them sometimes. They don't just sit paint like you would want them to do. So Gobert actually sits in the corner sometimes. It gets really cringe to play. I'm going to be real with you guys. But he ends up sitting corner with Gobert sometimes. And as you can see, if picture a world where Gobert has some threat on your team where he can actually just shoot. Because the problem is, I'm going to explain it to you guys like this. If you play off-ball D on Gobert, and like let's say you just like clog the lane for LeBron, right? Problem is, if you play like high up enough to actually stop LeBron from getting in a dunk meter, he can just cut Gobert anyway. If you just camp the paint, you're just going to get jammed on by LeBron. The dunk meter is just like that, and Apollo's a very good dunk meter user as well. I'd argue he's probably the second or third best dunk meter user in this league. And you know, when you pair that with LeBron, you have Jalen Brunson with MJ dribble style and a really good jump shot as well. And he can be your like small guard pick and roller that you can use Gobert with in the pick and roll sense as well. Wiggins is another defensive shooting dunk meter as well. And then you got Tobias with an absolute great jump shot and still size as well. So it's a really well-built roster. I think his starting 5 is ridiculously good. It falls off a little bit after that. Zach Collins, not exactly the best. John Wall didn't really see minutes. Derrick Jones, pretty solid as far as getting extra minutes. And I guess his main rotation pieces are pretty much Derrick Jones and LaMarcus Aldridge. Those are the two guys that really get the most runs of anybody on the team. Anybody else doesn't really get too many minutes. Maybe some John Wall, but that's about it. Anyway, moving along, we have A-Dot's team right here. He's very well defensive built as well. As you can see, he's got Kawhi Siakam bringing back that Raptors squad. And then he's got Chris Middleton as well, playing like the 2-guard kind of. Christian Wood at the big man. And also, technically at the big man, he has Chet Holmgren. So I'm not sure what he does with his lineup between all that. Kenyon Martin Jr. is a really good dunk meterer as well. He's got the Tyus and Trey Jones combo right here. 2 T. Joneses at point guard that are both like 6'1", 6'2". And besides that, he has Javonte Green, another good dunk meterer. And then he's still got JaVale McGee as his big man. So as far as his team goes, his Hoff badge, as you can see, added Hall of Fame glove to Kawhi. This is a very defensive team right here. Again, really good size between everybody. Really good switch ability, like 6'9", 6'7", 6'8", 6'7", right here. And then Chet at like 7'1", 7'2". Moving along to the next squad, we have Koza's team right here. Now, Koza is looking real nice with this squad. I'm going to be real. I think this fits his style really well. I think he's going to be a problem with this stuff. I haven't seen him play many games yet, but I'm thinking this is going to be really, really good. So he's got Fox in the first round and then got Clay Markkinen, obviously. Now, with his 6-man pick, he got him pretty early, but I respect this a lot. Russell Westbrook, and with Westbrook, he moves so clean. He's got silver quick first step. He's got MJ dribble style as well, and obviously he's got like 90-something acceleration. I'll go to the actual ratings for you guys, but like look at this stuff. He's got 96 excel. We got Fox with also 97 excel. So whether he finds a way to play both these guys at the same time could be very problematic, or if he just likes to split their minutes a little bit more, and Westbrook is just the answer when Fox is not in here, I think it's going to be a really, really nice situation. And Fox, really good jump shot. He changes dribble style, obviously. And then, as you can see, his half quick first step on him as well. So, really well-built team right here as well, in my opinion. I think the only issue we might have is size. Like, Markkinen might be playing the 5. Wiseman's jump shot is really tough to use. I'm going to be real with you guys, it's really, really bad. So, we'll see if he's able to utilize Wiseman. Or maybe he just runs Sadiq Bey and Markkinen as his bigs, and he just embraces the 5-out squad, embraces the speed, and maybe Westbrook and Fox and Clay all start 1 through 3, potentially. But anyway, moving along. We have Salt's team right here. Salt has KD and then Draymond as well. He uses Draymond in a very good way. He's a very like focal defender for him. And Draymond's interior D is so tough to deal with. As you can see, I mean, he's got A+ interior with A perimeter, and then his physical is still not too bad. And KD with his size is still a pretty good defender too. Al Horford, versatility as well. Fred, more of a bench point guard. He really starts Bogdan mostly, and then I think Finney Smith is the other starter. Alvarado is a problem too, let me tell you guys that much. I've been scrimmaging Salt a little bit. Alvarado's so annoying, bro. It just gets bumpy, like super crazy bumpy at 6 foot for some reason, and obviously his like steal is ridiculous too. So he gets more like pluck stealish, so to say. But as you can see, his badge change, he added that Hoff clamp breaker to KD. I don't know what he did for his animation change. Let me check out what he did with KD, because I know with KD, in case you guys don't know, I'm not going to make a cut or anything here. Yeah, so as you can see, he can't put things like Tari Eason upper or like LaMelo Ball base because KD is above 6'9". So we made it where, here, I'll just use this as an example. Like, Tari Eason does not even pop up. Like, it's not in here because you can't get it at these wings. And yes, I'll remove changes so I'm not screwing his team over. But that's my explanation on that. If you're 6'10 and above, it's really hard to use. And that's why with KD, it's a bit of a tough situation because you can't really put a lot of those great animations that you would typically get on him, or MJ dribble style. So he's still very good with him, though. I will say that. Like, he can definitely move with him. This team right here is Corner's team, like I was saying. So Corner, who actually had Ben Simmons and Embiid in the first draft, ended up getting him again. So he actually took Simmons. He took Simmons in the second round this time. Halliburton rightfully fell to the third round this time. I gotta say, he probably would have fell even further too. I think Corner got this pick auto-picked, but Halliburton does not bring much to the table. He's not a good dribble style, not a good jump shot, doesn't have finishing, no defense. He's a pure playmaker. So I'll be very intrigued to see how this works for Corner, considering Ben Simmons needs the ball in his hands a lot to be utilized. He can still use him as a pick and roller, but he's going to have to split the minutes between him and Embiid then if that's the case. And it's the typical Sixers like story, right? Embiid and Simmons, like, which one do you give the ball to? Which one do you run the team through? Stuff like that. So bit of a tough situation for Corner's team right here. I think it's no diss to him, and if he ends up working well with it, more power to him, but I think it's one of the worst rosters on the league right here. However, Embiid is still on the team, so it's a pretty like decent deal with that. Speaking of some of the worst rosters, we have Outer's team right here, and I don't know what happened here, to be with you guys. I think he took Aaron Gordon in the second round. Jalen Green, he actually traded someone for. I forget who he traded for, but this is actually a pretty big pickup for him. I forgot that he has Jalen Green now. This is actually a really, really big deal for him because he did not have a guard worth anything to actually start with right here. So as you can see with his team, Anthony Davis at the 5, Aaron Gordon at the 4. He still has Walker Kessler that can slide in at the 5 sometimes. It's like more of a situational inside big man, so to say. So like if he wants to put AD at the 4 and go supersized and like put Gordon at the 3, you can still do that. Dylan Brooks as well as like another solid lockdown option. Karis LeVert is like a secondary ball handler. Pat Bev, not too much going on right here. He does have a lot of like sleepers down here though. So Keon Johnson and Buchanan are like two really good dunk meter users and just have really good speed, all types of stuff like that. So I will say that it's still one of the worst rosters on the team. And speaking of another one of the worst rosters, rating-wise at least, this is IQ's team right here. Now, he has a lot of sleepers, though. He's got like Mo Bamba, Luke Kennard, Larry Nance, Bruce Brown. A lot of these guys have, like, let me just go over the list. MJ dribble style, MJ dribble style, MJ dribble style. Good jump shot, good jump shot, good jump shot. Good SIGs to get open. This guy is like Kobe moving crossover. He's got the KD escape to do the hopbacks with Kennard. And Mo Bamba, obviously just a big sleeper. Like, he's a very good center and really good speed, really good size and athleticism. Anthony Simons, also a really big sleeper. He's got really good dunk meter ability and also just moves pretty good with his MJ dribble style. As far as his badge change, I'm not exactly sure. I don't even think he's used it yet either, for that matter. So that's that. I don't think Dinwiddie sees many minutes, same with Monk, but either way, like I said, a pretty low-rated roster overall, but that's what we're looking at for that. So this is Ashbridge's team. He ends up with Harden and actually upgrades him the exact same way I did, where he puts the MJ dribble style on Harden and the Hall of Fame handles for days. So he's following in the LakerFan footsteps right here as far as the Harden modifications. He has Chris Paul, Marcus Smart. He traded with Tonic. He traded, I think, Trey Murphy for Chris Paul. Tonic, interesting trade right there, but I respect it. Trey Murphy's a very good player, for sure. Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart are his new two defenders. Gary Trent probably doesn't see many minutes. Same with Josh Hart. It's more like Dwight Howard and K-Love and then PJ Tucker. He drafted PJ Tucker pretty early. This is following in the AK footsteps, and PJ Tucker was the AK pick and pop. He was lighting the league up with him for sure. But Joe Harris, also pretty solid. He actually even has MJ dribble style too. This game is ridiculous with that stuff. How are we giving people like James Harden and Damian Lillard not the best dribble style in the game, but Joe Harris has it, man? It's ridiculous. This is Kish's team. I think it got auto-drafted early on, to be with you guys. Like, he didn't pick Zion, but anyway, he did pick the rest of his players. So he got Levine, Vucevic, McCollum, also MJ dribble style with pretty good, like, just SIGs in general, good ratings as well to create some shots. So it's an interesting team. I know Jaden Ivey's also really good speed and can definitely contribute as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses it. Vooch at the 5 might be kind of tough. Plus, I don't know who's playing the 4. It might just have to be Zion for that matter. It probably will be. So a little bit of an undersized, under-interior defensive team. This right here is Bonnie's team, though, so Bonnie gets Curry back as well, and we'll get to this with the next one, but Zeke ended up trading his badge point to Bonnie, and Curry is able to upgrade his blinders and Hoff handles for days. So he has 2 badge point upgrades on Curry, plus an animation change of the MJ dribble style, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check that real quick. Okay, no, so he goes KPJ base on Curry, which you're going to see with a lot of people that are under 6'4", because that's what you're allowed to do if you're 6'4" or below. If you're 6'5" or above, you can't get like the KPJ stuff. It has to be like LaMelo Ball base, etc., etc. But anyway, you're looking at his team, you're like, how does the cohesion on this work? Well, here's the thing, right? you can see 7-3 Porzingis, right? And Curry, let's just go over Curry real quick. I might give away what happened in our game, but to go over the recent games for him, as you can see, anything that has actually counted is things that end up with a lot of field goal attempts. As you can see, 37, 38, 30. Also, I held him to the season low. Shout out to me. And also, I guess Kobe did too, but he lost while doing it. But anyway, like 40 field goal attempts, 35, 34, 38, 31, 42, 44, 22. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. Like, he shoots a lot with Curry. So the whole concept of this team is he has Curry, Porzingis at 7-3. He has all the way down here, Taco Fall at 7-6, and he's got Boban at 7-4. He has 3 people on his team that are 7'3" or taller. That is tough, man. That is so tough. Batum, pretty solid player as well. He's got a lot of sleepers on the team for sure. Isaiah Joe, pretty good shot as well. Doesn't have any locks though, so he might have to try and see if he can, pawn off Bridges to somebody for a lock or something like that too. But yeah, as of now, no defense on his team, but it's okay. He has size, he has shooting, and it is what it is. So this is Saints team that ended up trading with me. So with the pick that I had, the 16th pick, Saint gets Jimmy Butler at the expense of me drafting Tatum with the 6th pick, obviously. So he's able to still get, with that, another 3rd round pick. And as you can see, he has a pretty deep team right here. He's got Drew Holiday with the 2nd round pick. He's got Jimmy Butler as well. Jarrett Allen, Josh Giddey, Scotty Barnes, really good lockdown right here. Nurkic as a stretch big. He's got Terry Rozier, who he loves as a shot creator. Benedict Mathurin, really good jump shot, MJ dribble style. Patrick Williams, again, good jump shot, MJ dribble style. Like, these guys are tough. And then he has 7'2" Moses Brown as like a kind of bench big man, so to say. But as far as Jimmy and his badge changes, also ironic that Jimmy is playing for the Celtics right now. Again, the series could be over by the time that I upload this, but he has Hoff Bully. Interesting. If it were me, I would have probably put Hoff Challenger or Clamps or Glove. He has all of these defensive soup badges right here. Like every one of those 4 great badges right here between Interceptor, Glove, Clamps, and Challenger has all of them on gold. And he's a great defender, man. It's a very defensive team. As you see, Drew Holiday playing lock. Like 1 through 3, man, he's got freaking Scotty Barnes, Drew Holiday, and Jimmy Butler. That is so tough. Or maybe he plays Giddey somewhere in there too. I don't know. It's a very deep team for sure. And Jarrett Allen and Nurkic as his big man options. Very good team. I think he benefited off that 3rd round pick I had to give him just as much as I benefited off the fact that I now have Ja with that high pick. So it is what it is. Zeke right here, he ended up taking Shea. Believe it or not, actually the 5th pick before me. Ended up passing on Tatum and Ja. So he loves Shea. He used him in the last league. If you guys saw the playoff series I did with him, he ended up taking me to 3 games and really could have won the whole thing too, or at least beat me in the 1st round. But he ends up getting Shea again. He has Brook Lopez and Jordan Poole. And Zeke is the one that traded the badge point to Bonnie at the expense of getting Carmelo Anthony. So Zeke absolutely wanted Carmelo. If you guys watched the series again, he dropped like 40 on me in a playoff game. So he needed Carmelo, and Bonnie actually picked up Carmelo before he did. So he had to trade off a lot to get him. Still got Bol. Obviously, his centers, like, Brook Lopez, Bol playing the 4. He might play Bol at the 5 sometimes, maybe to just spell Lopez's minutes, but it is what it is. Reeves, MJ dribble style as well. Very solid roster here. Obviously, it hurts a little bit that he traded his badge point, but either way, he gained Carmelo from it, so it is what it is. Now, moving along, we got Denton with the 1st pick right here. Ironically, let's talk about this. Now, you're going to see an AK's team coming up in a second here. So, AK traded Denton his early 2nd round pick. So, to give you guys some context on this, right? If you do well, AK, who made it to the finals, ended up the last pick of the 1st round and the 1st pick of the 2nd round. So, AK traded his early 2, as in the 1st pick of the 2nd round, to Denton, and Denton gave AK his late 2 and early 3. So essentially, AK bundled his early 2 for a late 2 and an early 3. It was a pretty good trade for both of them, if you ask me, and what that did for Denton is he had pretty much the 1st pick of the 1st round and the 1st pick of the 2nd round. So he's able to get Kyrie in the 2nd and get Giannis in the 1st. And as you can see, that makes for a demon duo right here. I mean, this is going to be so tough. As far as Kyrie's badges, he comes already equipped with like handles, killer combos, and ankle breaker. As far as Giannis, he comes equipped with bully and fearless, but ended up adding poster as well. So this is a tough team right here, bro. Plus Giannis has an on-ball lock, stuff like that too. It's a little bit tougher for him. Obviously, as you can see, he has Boucher, he has Mitchell Robinson, but like, I don't know if I were Denton, I would have wanted to maybe draft like a stretch 5 with this RJ Barrett pick right here, essentially. But it is what it is. He ends up with a lineup of Kuzma, Bane, Kyrie, Giannis, and then, like I said, probably Boucher is like his starting 4/5, whoever the deal is, whether Giannis wants to guard big or he wants to guard ball. I think some people are going to be curious as to what the animation changes on Kyrie, because I know I am curious, so I'm actually going to inspect this a little bit. So I think it might be, yeah, his dribble style, because it's pretty necessary. Kyrie's dribble style is pretty garbage. So that is his animation change, and like I said, his badge change was the Hoff poster on him. Now, as far as the trade, the trade partners right here go, AK ended up getting Garland with his late one. Or no, my bad. Actually, reverse that. It was LaMelo Ball with his late one, and then Garland with that pick that Denton gave him. Plus, also, he got his lockdown too, way down here, Matisse Thybulle. So, this is a pretty sleeper pick right here. I had him in the last My League, but I ended up trading him. I didn't like his speed, but more power to AK if he figures out how to work it with Thybulle. Thybulle doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table offensively besides just a spot-up shooter. Obviously, not a dribbler or a finisher, for that matter, very well. But at the end of the day, what more do you need from him other than to play really good defense? So that is his lockdown, just to keep that in mind. Capella is who we got with his technical third-round pick, I think. And then it gets a little bit jumbled up right here. But long story short, AK had a lot of, like, mid picks, right? Where it's like late 1, late 2, early 3, his own 4, stuff like that, right? So, like, essentially he's able to put together a squad that is the starting lineup of Garland, LaMelo, Capella, and then Covington paired with Matisse Thybulle down there as well. As far as who else gets minutes for him, it's probably just Duren, to be honest, only when Capella needs like a break. And yeah, that's about it. So anyway, Dope's team right here. Dope has not played a game yet because I know his controller's been messed up, so he's been waiting to get a new one. But this is an interesting lineup right here, man. He's got a lot of high overalls. So on paper, this looks like one of the best lineups in the game, if you ask me. He's got Luka at the 1 and KPJ at the 2. KPJ, obviously, great jump shot where everybody puts their freaking thing on, right? But he just gets it by default, so that makes him really good. And then pair that with Ingram at the 3, DeRozan at the 4. Maybe reverse that because of the heights and stuff, obviously, right? Like maybe DeRozan's supposed to play at 3, Ingram at the 4, Sabonis at the 5. There's no defense to be found on this team at all, but the offense is unbelievable. I mean, amazing shooters everywhere, like as far as like animations and stuff go. DeRozan can get the job done. The midi game on this team is ridiculous too. Plus like the close shot mashing in general. Like there's gonna be a lot of buckets on this team. And same with the size, like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". He's got 6'4" at the 2 guard and then 7'1" at the center. And I mean, Sabonis is a masher for sure, bro. So moving along, we got Tonic's team. Tonic ended up taking Shaedon Sharpe in the 2nd round. Now, I'm going to justify it for Tonic. He has gold takeoff. He also has bronze poster. And then he ends up having ridiculous dunk rating too. 96 dunk with an 81 three-pointer. He's still got pretty good ball handle at 83. His acceleration is still pretty doable as well. 89. It's actually pretty good for that matter. And yeah, I think he ends up using his animation change on O'Shea Brissett base for Jokic. And then as far as like the badges go, he ends up putting Hoff Limitless on Jokic as well. I don't know if I would do that if I was him. I feel like I would probably prefer like Agent or like Mini Magician or something like that. I think he actually said he had Mini Magician originally, but I don't know. Either way, that's Tonic's team. Trey Murphy is who he traded Chris Paul for, like I just said. Trey Murphy, really good, like oversized, slashing, good spot up. I mean, he's got really good badges. Gold catch, gold claymore, and silver corner. And then, again, 88 driving dunk with an 84 three-pointer. He's still got good speed at 6'8 as well, like 6'8, pairing that with 84 speed, 84 excel. I think he's another MJ dribble style guy too, so this is a really good player right here. And then Jay Crowder also fills out his starting lineup. I traded him Brandon Clark for Tari Eason, and besides that, he's got Cousins off the bench. Sometimes he can play Noel. It's a pretty mid lineup, to be fair, but it's actually pretty good surrounding him with Jokic. So I'll give him credit as far as that goes. KCP, pretty good lockdown, two-way sharp as well. I mean, it's actually a really underrated team, to be fair. TJ McConnell, really good steal as well, so he's like a makeshift lock. Right here, we have my boy Mr. 70. I played with him back in 2K20. He has Paul George, Mikal Bridges, and Tyler Hero. It's kind of like big three, right? And then he still has Robert Williams as like his technical center. Mark Williams is a really good like inside big man though, surrounding that. And overall, I would say it's a pretty like, on paper, it's a pretty mid team. It does look pretty solid though, like if you really get down to the nitty gritty with like the animations and stuff. As far as his badge, I think he put here, yeah, he put Hero Hoff Agent 3. And if you guys know anything about me, I love that Tyler Hero dribble pull up. It's so clean. It's one of my favorites. And pairing that with Hoff Agent 3 is going to be really tough, man. Mikal Bridges, really good lock. Obviously, Paul George still has good defense. It's a very well-rounded team with a lot of good size as well. Not very many like weak links as far as size goes. And then lastly, because we are now the Knicks and the next team would be the Lakers, we have Kobe's team, which again is my trade partner as far as getting Tatum and Franz Wagner for me. And then I, obviously got the Herb Jones and Ja Morant from him. So he has Tatum. He unfortunately is not going to have any like badge change or anything like that. I didn't even want mine because I had Tatum, and Tatum didn't really have anything good besides blinders as far as like a Hoff badge. Now, I will say, as you can see, his player literally at the top right says one of a kind, and then also he has 43 badges. That is the most badges in the game except for LeBron. So Tatum is definitely like a bronze, silver, and gold just champ as far as his badges go. But honestly, like, and also if you look at the grades, like Tatum's worst thing is A- rebounding. I mean, he's like a creative player on 2K back in the day, bro. It really is crazy. But anyway, he will still have his animation change for Tatum. I think he's going to change like his upper still. What I had for my animation change on Tatum's upper was Tari Eason. It really sped up his shot really well, so I think that's definitely the move with Tatum. He still has pro dribble style, so it's still doable. Same with Edwards. I think Edwards has pro dribble style. And then also, you know, Tatum's going to play his on-ball lock now. So he has Wagner as like a more stretched 3-4 kind of guy. Sengun as his 5 as well, or 4 for that matter. And he could rock like a Drummond 5. Or, again, he could go small ball and go like Sengun at the 5 and Franz at the 4. So he has versatility now as far as lineup goes. And then past that, not many people that are really worth too much on the rest of his team. But either way, I think he got what he wanted. He was a big fan of Tatum. He used him really well in the last My League. It's one of his favorite players too. And obviously for me, I think Ja fits my style more too. So that is what we're looking at right now. The last thing I'm going to show you guys for the recap, I'm going to show you guys where we're at with the playoff picture and the just the standings in general right now. So I'm 3-1. I'm not going to show any of my games so far because honestly, like, it's with Tatum, and I think my team image is a lot different than it is now. And you know, it is what it is. But I will say this much. Nut is 9-2, and I was actually able to beat Nut. So, as you can see, this is the... never mind. It's not the real box score. We ended up in, like, the 80s or something like that. But I ended up beating Nut by about, like, 8 or 9. It was a pretty good game. I can actually show you guys my box scores at the end of the game. I have all the recordings still, so I'll just show you guys the box score, pretty much. But, anyway... Besides that, we got Salt at 3-0. We got Gucci at 4-3. The West is pretty inactive in comparison to the East so far. As you can see, not a whole lot of games being played. We have a couple people on the bottom end between, like, we got Ada at 2-5. I think he'll come up off that. We got Outer at 0-4 and Denton at 1-6. Denton's had a lot of close, like, tough losses as far as that goes too. But anyway, again, the East is looking real active. We got Nut at 9-2. We got Bonnie at 8-4. We got AK 3-0. We got Tonic 6-4. Dre 3-1. We got Apollo 3-2. Got Kobe right here at 3-5 as well. That's also probably why he wanted to trade me Ja. He wasn't really playing the best with him. And then again, it's just a lot of activity on the East side. So we only have 2 people that haven't played a game yet on the East. And the West is lacking a little bit. To be fair, we only have 1 guy that hasn't played a game in the West, and that's just Koza. But you know, a couple 0-1s, a lot of 0-2s, a lot of 2-gamers and stuff like that in the West. But anyway, I'm gonna show you guys my box scores real quick of the games that I have played, and that'll be all for the video. All right, so this is my first game I played against Bonnie. As you can see, the score summary, like, or the flow of the game, I ended up, like, you know, I had a pretty decent lead, but ended up getting close toward the end. Tatum ended up with 29 points on 1 for 8 from 3. I did not play very well. However, the defense was great. Like I said, I mean, I didn't shoot well with anybody on my team, but my team's defense was balling. Like, I had a lot of takeaways, playing a full court press as well. Held Curry to 42, which I know sounds ridiculous to say, but I mean, it's a season low, and it's the lowest he scored in any of the last two leagues that we've done, right? And he had him for a full, like, league last year too. And I held Curry to his lowest 2 totals last year as well. So I just got the sauce for Curry right now. Same with Taco. Taco usually messes people up pretty bad. And, you know, he ends up not using Porzingis a whole lot, to be with you guys. I don't know what the ploy is with that. I guess he's just a stretch 4 that just happens to be there. I think it'd be best to use Porzingis, even in my opinion, over Taco, to be with you guys. But his team's not really built around that, obviously. But anyway, as far as this stuff goes, ended up beating him pretty solid. So moving on to the next one, we got this against Denton right here. I was kind of boxing this stuff up. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I was really defending Giannis very well. I had Ayton on him for the most part. Tatum gets 33, 6, and 5 in this game. 15 of 22 from field goal. We have like Ayton 12 and 15. Really good steals, blocks, all that. OG shooting well from 3. Giannis ends up with 26 and 14, but on 9 for 24 field goal. Like I said, I was playing really good defense in this one. Held Kyrie to 5 points as well. Not too much doing there. Again, it's just, my team is very tough on D, bro. Like, we got Tatum guarding Kyrie. We got OG guarding one of these other wings, whoever the heck it is, between Bane or Kuzma or whatever the heck is getting minutes. And it's just tough, man. I have a really good defense as far as that original team lineup went. Like, again, this is our main lineup right here. We got Tatum at the 1, OG at the 2. We got Paolo at the 3, Poku and Franz at the 4 rotation, and we still have, like, you know, Jaden McDaniels or anybody that's still waiting in the wings right here. Got Aiden at the 5. I mean, it was a very good lineup. It's very hard for me to generate offense. I say that right, I have 86 points, but again, it's a little bit more comfortable for me to probably use Ja. However, I had a couple good games with Tatum. Maybe I'll regret trading him, but he had 34 and 3 against Nut right here. 10 for 16, 2 for 4 from 3. It's ugly buckets, though. It's very tough for me to generate offense with Tatum. His dribble style is not the greatest. He has no quick first step. He only got, like, silver handles for days. You know, he's a very much so more well-rounded player. His defense is great as well, but offensively, I need a little bit more of a carry, I guess. Paolo, though, really good secondary ball handler. 19 points, dunk meter beast right here from him. And then Tari Eason chipping in some good shots as well. Obviously 2 for 5 from 3, but 14 points in total. Aiton, pretty solid game as well. And panning over to Nuts box score, he has 44th Dame right here. 18 of 22, but thankfully we were able to shut down pretty much everybody else. And also rebounding wise, I rebounded pretty well. As you can see, only had like, what, 10, 11 rebounds amongst his whole team. But yeah, that is all for our overview, or review, so to say, of the My League so far. I will get you guys a lot of the gameplays moving forward. I wanted to still show you guys like the results of those Tatum games. And I could have uploaded the gameplays, but I didn't want to put on some facade and act like, yeah, we got Tatum, like this is a beast squad, when I already know I traded Ja, right? So I'm just going to catch you guys up to live date. It lets you get a good picture for who is a good team with the standings and stuff and what the teams look like after a lot of trades have already been made and we're more settled in on everybody's team. Less scrimmages going on, more actual gameplay going on. If I would have uploaded a video like 3 days ago, it would have been the preseason style stuff where people are just scrimmaging a lot. They're, you know, trading a ton of people like I was too, and my roster wouldn't have been as intact as it is right now. Like, I want to be sure that I was going to have the team that I have now, and it's going to be like this moving forward for sure, unless some random trade happens that someone knocks my socks off. But anyway, that is all for video. I hope you guys enjoy the series, and this is for season 2 of the My League. It's going to be a lot of people, 24 this time instead of 20, so 4 teams are going to miss the playoffs per conference instead of 2 now, and that will go a long way. It'll be a lot of good competition in the playoffs, and looking forward to it. So, hope you guys are as well. I'll get straight into the gameplays as soon as I start getting some with Ja, and I'm looking forward to it, man. But anyway, that is all. Appreciate you guys. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.